At the beginning of the story, we are shown a deserted barren land where many ISIS members have captured a news reporter. In reality, this reporter had come there to gather evidence against them so that the world could know their true reality. Now these people were about to kill her, but they wanted to execute her in front of a camera so that the whole world would see what happens to anyone who dares to testify against them. Soon, they prepare to kill the reporter, but at that very moment, a few other men arrive there. Here we find out that all of them belong to the Turkish Special Forces. A team of 7 soldiers had come there to rescue the reporter. They were disguised as ordinary civilians and were slowly moving toward the enemy. At the same time, we are introduced to another sniper who had already aimed his rifle at the terrorist preparing to kill the reporter, while the rest of the team continued advancing forward. Just as the man was about to shoot the reporter, the sniper pulled the trigger and fired directly into his head, killing him instantly. Right after that, the other snipers also opened fire on the terrorists and started taking them down one by one. Afterward, they quickly reached the reporter, and here we are introduced to the captain of the team, Musa. Musa starts explaining the next part of the mission to his teammates. We also learn about another sniper named Arif. Their rescue mission had now been completed, but getting out safely from there was the real challenge because another ISIS squad could arrive there at any moment. Because of this, everyone starts preparing themselves while time slowly keeps passing. Later, we see one of the team members looking very upset. He says that he is not sure whether joining the army was the right decision or not. Hearing this, another teammate tells him that his family must be very proud of him because he is doing a noble job. After that, we see the rest of the team preparing for their next mission. Their objective now was to return to their base where a helicopter was waiting so they could safely escort the reporter there. However, the reporter suddenly becomes angry at them. She asks why they did not save the rest of her team members. Musa calmly replies that they only followed the orders they were given. Their mission was only to rescue her, and they had no information about the others. He then explains that their base is nearly 24 kilometers away, and they will have to travel the entire distance on foot. Soon after this, the story shifts into a flashback where we are shown 2 members of Musa's team. Musa initially did not want to include them in his squad, but in the end, both of them managed to convince him. One of them was named Peki while the other was called Rouse. The story then returns to the present where Rouse notices several dead bodies lying around. Seeing them leaves him completely shocked. These corpses belonged to nearby villagers who had been brutally murdered. Among them were women and children as well. ISIS had massacred them only to spread fear and send a message to the world. The soldiers could not understand how humans could become such monsters. At that moment, Arif informs Musa that another enemy squad is heading toward them. Hearing this makes Musa furious, and he says that they will teach those terrorists a lesson for killing innocent people. Soon, everyone takes their positions and prepares for battle. Back in the present timeline, the terrorists slowly move closer and begin taking their own positions because they already know where Musa's team is hiding. Musa carefully studies the entire situation and contacts his base camp. Immediately, heavy gunfire starts raining down on the ISIS fighters, killing many of them on the spot. However, a few terrorists still survive, and Arif begins targeting them one by one, shooting directly into their heads. But then they realize that ISIS fighters are also moving toward their base camp, meaning it would no longer be safe for them to return there. At this moment, the reporter comes up with an idea. She suggests that they should create a temporary hideout somewhere near the camp before moving ahead. Musa carefully considers her suggestion. After this, the story once again shifts into a flashback. Here we see a brutal training session where recruits are being tested. It is explained that only those who are physically and mentally strong can become part of the Special Forces. The training itself is extremely dangerous and intense. The story then returns to the present where the team finally reaches a safe location and starts planning their next move. Musa says that they first need to inspect the entire area because terrorists could still be hiding nearby. After completing the inspection, everyone finally takes some rest. However, there is an old tomb located nearby, and during the night the soldiers decide to investigate it. Once they reach there, they discover that many terrorists are hiding inside with a huge stockpile of weapons. The entire place is filled with bombs planted in different corners. Without wasting any time, the team launches an attack and starts eliminating the terrorists one by one. Afterward, they begin defusing the bombs placed there. During this, one of their teammates gets attacked by a surviving terrorist. But since the bomb was about to explode, the others focus on defusing it first. Thankfully, the bomb gets successfully defused, and their teammate also manages to kill the terrorist. After completing the mission, everyone safely returns back. Later, we see the reporter learning how to use a gun. One of the soldiers teaches her how to fire properly and also explains what it truly means to be a soldier. Soon after this, Arif informs the team that another ISIS squad is near a village where innocent civilians have been taken hostage. Women, elderly people, and children are all being held at gunpoint. Seeing this, the soldiers decide that they must help the villagers. They slowly begin moving forward one by one. Suddenly, they spot a terrorist who is about to kill a young girl. Musa immediately gives Arif the order, and Arif shoots the terrorist straight in the head. Right after that, the rest of the team attacks the remaining terrorists, and intense gunfire erupts everywhere. During the battle, Arif realizes that the enemy also has a highly dangerous sniper hiding somewhere nearby. The sniper keeps secretly targeting them from a hidden position. After searching carefully, Arif finally locates him and kills him as well. Meanwhile, the rest of the soldiers wipe out the remaining terrorists and finally sit down after completing the operation. At that moment, one of their teammates says that they should continue with their mission because they are losing their way. Hearing this, Musa explains to him that they are soldiers, and a soldier's duty is to help everyone in need. According to him, helping innocent people is both their responsibility and their true mission. Just then, they notice a badly injured man lying nearby. Musa immediately starts treating him. The injured man reveals that he belongs to the Turkish police force. He explains that many of his teammates had also come there, but all of them were killed, and now he is the only survivor left alive. Since he was suffering terribly, he begs Musa to end his life and give him an easy death. After hearing him, Musa silently takes out his gun and shoots him. Then the team leaves the place. Along with them are two little girls from the village they had saved earlier. Soon, the entire team starts moving toward the village and finally arrives there after some time. As soon as they enter the village, Arif carefully begins inspecting everything around him because he suspects that terrorists might also be hiding there. However, after searching the area for a long time, he finally concludes that the village is safe. Once they enter inside, the two little girls immediately run toward their mother. Soon, the village chief comes to thank them for saving the girls. At the same time, they meet a young man, which surprises them because there are no young men left in the village anymore. Only old men, women, and children remain alive there. The young man begins explaining how many villagers are still left alive. Afterward, the villagers take everyone inside their homes, offer them food, and begin sharing their stories with the soldiers. The team then asks whether a helicopter could land somewhere near the village, but they soon discover that a helicopter cannot reach this place. Realizing this, the soldiers decide that they must leave as quickly as possible because only then can they save both the villagers and the reporter. At that moment, Musa contacts his command center. There he learns a horrifying truth. The place they were originally supposed to reach had already been captured by terrorists. All the soldiers stationed there had been killed, and now no one was left alive. Worse still, the terrorists were planning to attack the village the very next morning. Because of this, the command center orders Musa and his team to leave the village immediately while they still have time. Hearing this, the soldiers start preparing to leave. However, the villagers tell them to go away and leave them to their fate. As the team begins leaving, the reporter stops Musa and asks him to take the villagers along as well. Musa replies that his only order is to escort her back safely to the camp so she can return home. Beyond that, they have no other mission. But the reporter reminds him of his own words. She says that he himself claimed a soldier's greatest duty is to protect innocent lives, and now the time has come to prove those words true. She says they will stay there no matter what. Then the reporter brings a small little girl in front of Musa and tells him to look directly into her eyes and say that he cannot save her. She asks him to answer that innocent child honestly. Hearing this, Musa becomes completely silent and starts thinking deeply. At the same time, one of his teammates also advises him to save the little girl and the villagers. Musa replies that they must leave quickly because if they get trapped on the way, they may never reach the camp alive. According to him, they must accept the harsh truth that they cannot save everyone. But eventually Musa changes his decision and announces that all the villagers will be evacuated to the camp. He immediately contacts his command center and requests a helicopter. The next morning, a helicopter finally arrives, and Musa personally helps each villager board it one by one. Seeing this, the reporter becomes shocked because she realizes that she judged Musa wrongly the previous night. Afterward, Musa orders the reporter to leave as well. At first, she refuses to go, but after Musa insists repeatedly, she finally boards the helicopter too. Once the helicopter leaves, Musa asks the command center to send another helicopter for his team. However, the command center refuses because the entire base has already been surrounded by terrorists. After hearing this, the soldiers quietly return back to the village. The first thing they do is raise the Turkish flag so that their patriotism and courage remain alive till the very end. After that, they begin planning their final defense and start taking positions across the village. They plant bombs along the roads leading into the village so that the terrorists cannot easily attack them. Soon, a woman named Nabad comes forward and says that she wants to help them. She begins taking the villagers safely inside their homes while the soldiers continue preparing for battle. During this time, the soldiers share stories about their lives and talk about their past memories with each other. Meanwhile, Arif looks outside and informs everyone that the terrorists are getting very close. Their numbers are enormous, and they even have tanks with them. The enemy forces begin advancing rapidly toward the village. Soon, the terrorists park their vehicles exactly near the locations where the soldiers had planted bombs. Immediately, the soldiers detonate the explosives, killing many terrorists at once. Heavy fighting erupts from both sides, and several people died during the battle. After some time, the terrorists finally manage to enter the village. During the chaos, Mustafa gets captured by them. Arif notices this, but there are simply too many enemies for him to kill alone. At that moment, Mustafa tells Arif to take care of his child. Right after saying this, Mustafa pulls out a bomb and blows himself up, killing many terrorists along with him. On the other side, several more soldiers from the team also start getting injured. Then Arif uses a dead body as a shield and finally manages to kill the enemy sniper. However, during the process, Arif himself also gets killed. At the same time, the soldiers begin running out of bullets. Eventually, the terrorists realize that the team has almost no ammunition left. Taking advantage of this, they move forward carrying bombs in their hands. Musa notices them and starts killing the terrorists one by one. But just before killing the last terrorist, Musa runs out of bullets. The final terrorist attacks him directly, and although Musa manages to kill him in the end, he himself gets shot badly during the fight. At this moment, we see the reporter opening a letter that Musa had given her earlier. In the letter, Musa writes that after his death, she should visit his daughter and take care of her. He also tells her to continue serving the country in the same way. And with this emotional moment, the story comes to an end. If you love this story, then don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.